Austin Andrews here with your beacon. Today we take a look at Tim Walz headlining the Democratic National Convention, but what does he truly stand for? Last night, Tim Walz, governor of Minnesota and the running mate to Kamala Harris, took the stage at the DNC telling a little of his story and attempting to football coach Democrats to score the touchdown of winning the election. One aspect of the Walz story is a struggle with fertility. Walz tries to use this as a counterpoint to Donald Trump, claiming that Trump and Republicans want to ban IVF. Walz stated last night,
"I'm letting you in on how we started a family because this is a big part about what this election is about. Freedom. When Republicans use the word freedom, they mean that the government should be free to invade your doctor's office."
In fact, Michelle Obama took the same angle on Trump on Tuesday night, saying this:
"Taking away our freedom to control our bodies, the freedom to become a mother through IVF like I did."
The problem is that's not what Trump did as president, and it is also not something he has expressed interest in doing as president. In fact, Trump released a video exclusively on abortion, stating that he does not want a federal ban, but instead wants the government to make fertility treatments readily available. This is what Trump stated.
"We want to make it easier for mothers and families to have babies, not harder. That includes supporting the availability of fertility treatments like IVF in every state in America. Like the overwhelming majority of Americans, including the vast majority of Republicans, conservatives, Christians, and pro-life Americans, I strongly support the availability of IVF for couples who are trying to have a precious baby."
It seems hard to mince those words, but unfortunately, fact-checking doesn't seem to be what it used to be. The Tim Walz speech accepting the nod to be the vice presidential nominee for the Democrats centered on freedom as the distinct choice between Trump and Harris for president. Tim Walz's thesis statement could be summed up by this comment:
"Freedom. When Republicans use the word freedom, they mean that the government should be free to invade your doctor's office. Corporations free to pollute your air and water. And banks free to take advantage of customers. But when we Democrats talk about freedom, we mean the freedom to make a better life for yourself and the people that you love."
While applause lines tried to encourage beliefs in freedom and democracy as being central to Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, their actions speak very different stories. And today we will analyze some of those governorship decisions by Tim Walz during his tenure as governor of Minnesota. When Walz states that Republicans want the freedom to invade the doctor's office, he is likely referring to abortion and the Project 2025 stance on abortion. Trump has been clear that he does not want a federal ban on abortion, nor does he endorse or approve of Project 2025, but Walz also forgets that he has a history as an executive, and he also loved to limit medical choice in his state. Walz oversaw Minnesota during the pandemic and enabled a form of strict lockdown that was second to none in the United States of America. TheBlaze.com states, quote, "While Black Lives Matter rioters were free to burn businesses, Walz enforced the strictest lockdown that even led to the jailing of business owners who attempted to open rather than burn businesses," end quote. Now, as TheBlaze.com stated, Walz jailed business owners who dared to open their businesses, and one grandma, Lisa Hounson, was sentenced to 90 days jail time for this reason. She spoke to Fox Business about her experience.
We had two choices as a business. You can't survive under lockdown. I had two choices: either close my business permanently, walk away, be done, or open up fully. I thought about that and I thought, it's our right to be open, to do business. My employees needed a paycheck. I needed the income, et cetera, et cetera. Our well-loved business, right? And so I decided I'm going to open up fully. Immediately, within 24 hours, the state had thrown every resource they had at me to get me to shut back down. And when I did not shut back down, they, of course, then filed lawsuits against me. I believe it was 5 civil cases and 2 criminal cases against me. Of course, I went to trial. I had a jury of 6 that was not allowed to hear my defense in any way, shape, or form. I was not permitted to offer my defense to the jury, constitutional, statutory, and case law, none of it. If I had, and I did try, the Judge Joseph A. Butel, Freeborn County judge, he threatened me with contempt of court. So we decided that was not going to be our strategy. We did not want to go that way. So the jury never heard my defense. I was convicted. I believe it was 6, I believe it's 7 counts. Most of those counts were violating the governor's emergency executive orders and 1 count of public nuisance, believe it or not. You know, I know firsthand, we know as Minnesotans what Governor Walz is capable of. He is a tyrant of tyrants.
Lisa ended up losing that business. Now, it seems like Walz forgot about the importance of freedom, the freedom for Lisa to own and operate a business, the freedom for her to earn money, the freedom for her customers to choose whether they would risk their health or not by going into Lisa's restaurant, and even the freedom for Lisa to defend herself in the court of law. But of course, this election's about freedom. Tim Walz stated that when a Democrat uses the word freedom, it is about, quote, the freedom to make a better life for yourself, end quote. So as governor, Walz's freedom to make a better life for yourself looked like abortion being legalized up to the moment of birth. Walz even repealed a protection of babies who were born alive during an abortion, replacing the language with a vague word, care. The fear is that a baby born alive from an attempted abortion could be given comfort care, more akin to hospice care, instead of being given life-saving care. In that same repeal, Governor Walz removed the reporting mandate for born alive instances. No longer will any statistics be reported or collected telling the story of how many babies are born alive or what care they will be given in the state of Minnesota. As Governor Walz's freedom to make a better life for yourself looked like the complete welcoming of illegal immigrants into the state, making Minnesota a sanctuary state. This included offering free college, free Minnesota care, and enabling illegal immigrants to get driver's licenses. Now, while these giveaways are enabling illegal immigrants to better themselves, the taxpayers of Minnesota have bared the burden and the cost. And of course, to pay all of this and so much more, the tax rate in Minnesota skyrocketed, as it would have to cover these kinds of massive expenditures. One more note, all of these legal changes that took place after Walz took over Minnesota, they all happened when he got a 1-vote majority in the Minnesota Senate. This is just a drop in the bucket of Tim Walz, and we will continue to cover him and Kamala Harris, including the argument of stolen valor for Tim Walz. But for now, I want you to recognize that the word freedom is being bandied about in speeches by this candidate and this ticket, but their actions tell a very different story. I'm Austin Andrews, and I'll see you on the next report.